it's me, Nick, head of Max MOCs, and today I am back with another MOC that I have already showcased. Okay, some of you are probably a bit confused right now. You see, I've never on my channel actually re-reviewed something I've done. So the reason I'm actually reviewing this right now is because, if you haven't been able to tell from the absence of new content on my channel, my next MOC is a long time from coming. To make up for that fact, I've decided that I would be reviewing a few of my older MOCs that I still think are very cool in a MOC Showcase's place. I've decided that for my first re-review, as well this is what I'm going to call this new series, would be a LEGO ADU set that I did about 2 years back, the Metro Police Gunship. Looking at the ADU series I did now, a lot of the sets haven't aged as well as I would have liked them to. I still think the ADU helicopter and the Trimech are cool, but to be frank, they're not as cool as I thought they were when I first constructed them. There are really only two ADU MOCs that, in my opinion, look as good now as they did when they were built. And those two MOCs are the Metro Police Gunship, which is what I'm reviewing today, and the ADU Dropship, which I might do a review on later. Unlike a lot of the other ADU vehicles I designed that were a bit cartoony, this, I honestly think, looks way more realistic and plausible than the other sets I built. Now, that isn't to say, though, that the building structure and techniques on this model are definitely dated in comparison to a lot of the newer LEGO builds and most recently LEGO Formers that I've been making videos about lately. For example, the sides are very flat, the color of the ground is a bit off from the rest of them. There are these yellow stripes right here which don't really work. And there's just this big empty hole in the back. This back section isn't even held on that well. As a matter of fact, I had to add these little pieces on the sides before recording to hold it on a bit better. But despite those, I honestly think that this just has a really killer design with the big machine guns in front and the giant spotlights and angleable jet fans and such. There's even a little rope thingy that can come down. You can, like, mount a minifigure's hand on the end of it. If I remember correctly, in the storyline I created for that ADU dystopian future thing, this was actually a alien sympathizing police system that this alien ship belonged to, and that's why it's the Metro Police Gunship, and also why it says police on the front. And personally, I think this is exactly what a spacecraft used by a dystopian police force would look like. It's really rugged looking, very functional looking, and if you even open it up, it does have room for 2 minifigures. From here you can tell that it doesn't have the most detailed cockpit, but it does work. It does fit 2 minifigures in there successfully, and if you do put a minifigure in there, it's just a random one I've chosen, cast arms down, you can see that their head does about, or their face does about reach the windshield, so they can't actually see out of it. Bit of an issue, though, with the windshield is that when you take the top off, you realize that this isn't really held on by much, so it just sort of lifts off a bit too easily for my taste. Overall, I think this is a decent LEGO MOC. It's just a bit silly in some places that I was more or less okay with at the time. Personally, I do think that this still does hold up to my current building standards. Bit blocky in the front, but I think I did have blockier ADU sets, so like I said, I don't really mind it with this one so much. And yeah, overall, I just think that this is just a very good looking set. I mean, Won't deny that there are better looking sets out there, but I think this suffices. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will actually leave the link to the original video where I review this along with the other Lady U carving in the description below. But I will warn you, it is very cringy and really terrible because that was one of the earlier videos on my channel, so that was before I had little notes and stuff and knew where to start and such. But yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.